This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The campaign is The Order of the Stone. It was written by Twing, Lynn Hardy, and Paul Fricker. It's available from Chaosium. Our Keeper of Arcane Lore is Keith Craig, and this is episode 5. Our recap will be given by Troy Wheeldryer as the adventurer Goldie Holiday. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Troy?
I keep waking up in a cold sweat, seeing my dad chopped to pieces on the SS Champagne, a raving maniac plunging knives and machetes into innocent victims, screams echoing through the ship. JJ and Harold's brain smashed to bits on the bulkhead, a mass of twisting darkness hidden in the depths of the ocean, waiting. Dr. Cavendish has assured me of what I know to be true, that Dad is buried in King of Prussia Cemetery in the mausoleum next to Mom. But I swear, he was on that boat. I can't think of any of that now. We're now on a mission to find and hopefully defeat the archaeological team turned cultists who it now seems intentionally excavated the Zyvon ruins in Ireland to unleash this horrible being or beings upon the world. We have a lead in Greyport. One of the members of the original team has been found murdered, likely by a wild-eyed lunatic named Mickey Spill. It seems that Mickey has always been a depraved sort. His poor father appeared to be deeply in denial of Mickey's proclivities for murder and aggression and bloodlust. A good candidate for a death cult if I've ever heard of one. Greyport is a sleepy town here on the coast that seems to be dominated by a local cannery. The locals seem kind and hospitable so far. Still, I hope we won't be here long. We're following up with the local Sheriff Barrett, and we hope to be able to hunt down the murderer or murderers. Manfred has a knack for speaking with the dock workers. Maybe he'll be able to get some feelers out for our ne'er-do-wells. We'll shack up in the local B&B, which seems charmingly rustic. The diner's fish-forward menu leaves something to be desired, but perhaps there's some options for fresh food at the market. At least the doctor's convinced that there's something evil here. I gotta admit, it's helping me to feel a bit more attached to reality that the survivors of the Champagne and I are believed by him and Dr. Armitage.
All right, excellent. When we last left off, Manfred was busy talking to one of the fishermen, Matt Hodges, and we will pick up with Dr. Cavendish and Dr. Harding heading to the town hall.
Yes, this looks like it over here. Quaint looking.
So the courthouse is the second largest building in the town. The only one larger is the cannery. You see a further block on, you see the church. But the courthouse is a 5-story white stone building built in the colonial style with 4 gigantic stone columns lining each side.
Well, shall we? Let's see
Yes,
what
a
information we can find.
lovely architecture. I'm very much looking forward to seeing this body.
Indeed.
When you come in, they have like a little sign, a directory there. It says, the north side is the sheriff's office, the mortuary's down in the basement, the Hall of Records is on the second floor, and the harbor master's office is in the east wing of the building.
There's probably some paperwork we'll have to fill out if we want to see the body. Um,
Yes, well,
Maybe there's a
I mean,
clerk
they
who can
might.
tell us where we should go.
Yes, that
Or
Um,
would
the
be
sh
a good idea, I think.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, if you look around, you do see a woman. It's a little bit down the hallway. A woman kind of standing there. She looks rather bored. No, and
Pardon me, miss.
oh
Uh,
yes.
we're here on medical purposes. We need to view one of the bodies in the morgue. Don't know what procedure you require or who we need to talk to.
Oh, a friend of yours, if our friend or family member's body,
No, it's
uh,
it's it's a case that we're working on.
oh, okay, okay. Well, the sheriff, they'd be the ones if it's a case, they'll be the ones that grant the permission and stuff. The mortuary's downstairs, but they won't let you view the body unless the sheriff gives it the okay.
Right, and he's down the hall here.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure he's in, but the deputy should be in.
All right, we'll go there and thank you very much, miss.
Oh, is no problem at all.
And I'll go.
Okay. Yep. You guys head down the hallway to the sheriff's office. As you come in into the office there, you see a young man sitting at the desk, Deputy Jerry Osland. He's got his sitting. He's got his feet up on his desk. When you show up, he quickly puts his feet on the ground and hops up and goes, nice to meet you. I'm Deputy Oslin. What can I help you with?"
Hello, deputy. My colleague in here, we're doctors from the university. We're out here investigating certain unusual crimes that have taken place. We need to see the body of the young man that was murdered. There may be some connection. Uh,
Oh, you're talking the man that was talked about in the paper? No.
yes,
Yeah,
he was
Marco
murdered in a.
Torres.
Hi. Yes. Do you have some credentials or anything? You
I
understand?
can show you my ID.
Mm-hmm. I kind
We
of.
don't really carry around, badges like you gentlemen do.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
But
understand though.
if
Yeah,
you
we.
call, you can certainly corroborate our
Oh
estimate.
no, no. Yeah, here in the small towns, we take people for their word and all, and yeah, doctor. Well, um, sure, that'll be no issue at all. Come, hey, he's like, would you like me to show you where it's at?
Oh, yes,
Please,
please.
thank you.
He's like, oh well, come along. And so he gets up, he kind of brushes himself off, and he starts walking. He's like, going, so where are you guys from originally?
Arkham.
Arkham. Oh, I haven't been there. That's close to Boston, isn't it?
Yes, yes, it
Not
is.
too far.
Mhm.
Hmm. What's it like being in the big cities and all?
Well,
I don't
it's
know if
not
I
much of a
would
big
call Arkham
city.
a big
Yeah.
city.
Ah,
It's
well,
it's it's not. I'd say your town is almost as big, a
oh,
little bigger. We do have a nice university, though, the Miskatonic University.
yeah, that's good, good. Oh, and so we haven't had a murder out here since I can ever remember. Is this standard operating procedures to send out some doctors to various murder places?
Well, it's not because you had the murder. It's because the person who was murdered was involved in another investigation that we've been conducting.
Oh,
Uh, the uh, the wreck
The
of the
SS
Champagne.
campaign.
oh, the ship. Oh, is that ship that sank?
Yeah, so
Yes,
you see, both Mr. Torres and ourselves were passengers on that ship.
Oh, wow. It's like I didn't think anyone survived. And now he's a
I wasn't on the ship, but I
oh,
guess I
well,
was in spirit.
someone that sounded like you was, I'm sure. But he goes, well, you know, that's quite amazing. He's like going, well, if you ask me, I think it was some drifter just came in, yeah, came through, passed through town, saw an opportunity to rob someone and took advantage of it. He's like, I hope this doesn't sound cruel, but glad it wasn't a local that got murdered. That'd be even harder for us to deal with.
Well, I mean, that's very understandable. Humans tend to be very, tribalistic in their way. So, I can see the preference for somebody outside of your own social group, to be the victim. Um, I think no less of you at all for that.
Oh, well, thank you. And he goes, and then you go down some steps, and you get that smell of formaldehyde, and all as you come
Mm,
down, and you come to the
yes.
door that's marked mortuary, and he opens the door, a little bell rings, and you see a clerk wearing little Coke bottle glasses. He kind of stands up. He's like, deputy, oh, gentlemen, how can I help you?
Hi, I'm Dr. Gregory Harding, a professor of biology and anatomy at the Miskatonic University.
And I'm Dr.
Oh, well.
Cavendish.
Oh, I'm Tony Collins. I don't have any degree. I'm just the attendant here and all the doctors out. What and the deputy goes, I told the doctors here that they could see the body of Mr. Torres. It'd be okay. It's like, well, if it's all right with the sheriff, that sounds good to me. He goes, doctors, I'm going to head back to my office. If you need anything else, come on by. The sheriff, we're here to serve.
Thank you. You've been very kind.
So the Tony looks at you and he goes, well, the body's
Yes.
here in the back in the back.
Excellent. Has an autopsy been performed? I
Uh,
suppose you know what he died of.
yeah, we
Mindfulness.
know what he died of, and all. The doctor looked at it. He wrote up a report, said it was he died of a simple stab wound to the heart. Oh, he
So
looked.
there hasn't been an autopsy?
Uh, no.
I'm not sure that there would be an autopsy.
Like, well, come on in,
I
come
mean, you
on in.
never know what could be revealed. The
Yeah, that's up to the doctor. I just clean up around the place and do paperwork. I'm
We
not
understand.
a medical examiner. Oh.
Yeah, perhaps, Doctor. You can confer with. What's the name of the doctor in the morgue?
Uh, Dr. Jones.
Jones. Uh, Perhaps you can confer with Doctor Jones later and see if he can, if the two of you can do an autopsy. If you think it's important.
Oh, it's of the utmost importance.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Collins, we would like to see the body
Oh,
now.
well, I'm back. So he goes back and they've got like, the Not a lot. There's like two lockers, that they keep the bodies on. And he opens it up. He pulls it out, puts it on a, little wheeled cart, and it's got a shroud over it, and he kind of brings it over to you. He goes, here he is. Pulls it back, and you see a a young man. He's obviously quite dead, and he's got a, large, stab wound right in his chest.
Single stab wound.
Hmm. Yep.
That is quite the incision.
Is it?
Um,
Yeah.
Do some measurements. Get some idea of the width of the
Yeah.
blade.
Okay. Yep. So you kind of, you can easily do that and everything. It is, it's probably, wider than what like a butcher knife would be. You can see in there that it definitely, when it went in, it definitely
Cut
cut
on
on both
both.
sides. Yeah.
Some sort of dagger, perhaps, or not a buck knife, not a butcher knife.
yes, well, I mean, as the newspaper said, it seems to be some kind of wide double-edged blade, and this seems to bear out.
I
Hmm.
think I would like to at least do a preliminary. I mean, I'm not that kind of a doctor, but uh, sometimes,
Yeah.
Mr. Collins, excuse us, please.
Oh, of course. And he goes, back out. Right. You see him, he sits back down in his chair and, gets his paper back out.
I cannot believe that they wouldn't perform an autopsy.
Well, there's usually if there's a question as to why somebody was killed, then they'll do an autopsy. But this is 1930. What is it? 1930.
1929. Hmm.
Yeah, small towns are not going to do any kind of autopsy. They don't even know how. Um,
Well, I mean, I'm here. I know how. I mean, they
yeah,
just needed to consult someone with the right expertise. This is
I think
this
if
is
you could talk to
vital. This
Dr.
is
Jones
vital
and
for the.
as
But
I
what?
understand it, Mr. Torres doesn't have any next of kin in the town that we know of. Uh,
No, not that we. They said he was from out of town. They definitely made no pretense about that.
I'm wondering if there are any other marks on his body, cultist tattoos or anything like that.
Hmm.
Uh, uh,
Okay.
Mm.
should we wait until we get permission, or I don't want to
I
overstep?
mean, uh,
I
he's a
mean,
dead. It's a corpse, you know. I don't know if they're gonna
you've said it's easier to say
mind.
you're sorry than to ask permission. So
Well, if you feel like you want to ask permission, Eloy, you go. We can ask for permission.
we just don't know when the doctor's going to be back. So
Hmm. Yep. Oh,
I mean,
Well,
nobody's going to complain.
yeah, I say we just pull back the sheet a little more and take a look.
okay.
Yeah.
We
I
pull
assume he's
the.
been undressed. He's
Oh
not.
yeah, yeah, he's completely, naked. Yep. So when you pull back the sheet there, there are no other wounds on him, and, on the front of him, you don't see any like markings or tattoos or anything.
And there is no exit wound in the back. Yeah.
There is not.
Any
Okay.
signs of struggle? Broken fingernails,
That is going to
scratches.
require a medicine roll.
How about you let me roll the medicine check,
Yeah,
Eloy?
you do that. I'll ask him how he's feeling about himself right now as the
Yes,
psychologist.
I'm sure he is contemplating his relationship with his mother at this point. Oh, 4.
Oh, four. How as you, kind of, look through there, you, he definitely wasn't, choked or assaulted. With an oh 04, I'm assuming that's an extreme.
That is an extreme.
Yeah. Uh, you can kind of get you're almost positive that he was probably just completely caught off guard. Like, it wasn't, it just came out of the blue. He's just walking along. Someone didn't assault him. They just came up and stabbed him.
Well, Eloy, uh, there are no signs of a struggle.
Just walked up to him.
None whatsoever. Stabbed right into the heart. And that's it. No
Are
fuss.
are there tests that you can do during the autopsy to see if he had drugs in his system? I mean, maybe he was asleep.
Yes, I mean, this is 1929, but I'm sure that we could ascertain if there were substances in his body.
Yeah.
Definitely the big ones.
Uh, we'll say with like a an extreme, you're not going to need to roll again to do
Mhm.
that. Obviously, you kind of go through. It'll take you a little bit a while of some testing and all. I don't know how those tests actually work, but you kind of go through, and the best you can get is that he probably had some alcohol in his system.
Wouldn't be surprising. Is there fabric in the wound itself?
Uh,
Just to see,
if
like,
you look at
was he?
it's been cleaned, like as they
Yeah.
went when they did it. But if you look at the report, there was some fabric in the wound.
Okay, yeah. So he was wearing clothes when he was stabbed.
I
That
wonder.
checks out.
Is there I'm going to go ask Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins,
Yes.
when the body was brought in, he was closed, yes?
Oh, yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes. hmm
um were there contents in his pockets?
Yeah, and he gets out and kind of starts digging through a file. It doesn't take long. He pulls out a file. He goes, yeah. He goes, he had his clothes, his boots. He had $5 in cash, a cigarette lighter, and a pack of Lucky Strike cigarettes.
Lucky
Uh
strikes, a
are
man of taste.
Hmm.
are those items still here?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. There you go. He goes, I can get them for you.
Yeah. I I'd just like to see them for a few moments.
Yeah, he gets out and he get out and he brings it out and they're in like a little box or something.
And as I pick up the lighter that's got the yellow sign written on the side of it.
Yeah, I know. No,
Damn it. Uh
no. As you look at the lighter, it says the champagne.
ah, so he pilfered the lighter
Souvenir.
from the champagne, I guess. Uh Nothing
Well,
really, no notes, no books with
No.
locations or anything. Well, I think this might be a dead end. Do you still want to do a an autopsy?
I think that I could only help our investigation.
Let's
Okay.
see.
All right. So I will say that the ME shows up and he comes in. He goes, I'm Dr. Stephen Jones. It's like going, pleasure to meet you, doctors. Goes,
Yes, it's a pleasure.
uh, quite glad to have some assistance and all. Generally, I deal with like injuries at the cannery or in fishing and all. Not uh, He's like, I'll be the first to admit I'm a little out of my depths with a murder. I mean, I could determine what killed him and everything, but if they asked me to go on stand for a trial, I've never had to do that before.
It'd be well prepared by the local prosecutor, I'm sure, about how to go about that. But I'm curious, Dr. Jones, why there hasn't been a full autopsy done.
Oh well, we knew what killed him. He was stabbed in the heart.
Yes, but I feel like there could be other vital information or things that the police may be overlooking. Um,
Oh, uh, I mean, if you want to do one, I'm more than happy to have you assist.
oh, I would be more than happy to.
It's like going, all right. He's like going, well, let's get ready.
Uh,
So
Gentlemen, I believe that I will go do another part of this investigation while you're
okay. Well,
going
then
out
that
to.
that headed off my question of Dr. Cavendish. Have you ever seen an autopsy? Okay. All right.
No, and the
All right.
smells, and
Are you sure, Eloy? Um,
I'm sure
it'd be
it's
quite
very
edifying for
interesting.
you.
But don't get too hung up, Dr. Harding, on his eyes.
And Dr. Jones kind of looks at you at that comment and goes, huh, must be an inside joke.
Dr. Jones, this is part of a very strange investigation. This man right here survived the shipwreck of the Champagne, only to be murdered by someone in a field in your town. And we're trying to find connections because we believe there was a great deal of criminal activity that took place on the Champagne.
Oh, think like smugglers?
Well, we don't exactly know yet, but there were a number of people that were killed. Most of them did not survive the Champagne, uh, but this guy did, and then somebody killed him, which is highly unusual and suspicious. So, Dr. Harding here will help you.
All right. So we'll have you do one more medicine roll there, Dr. Harding.
And I leave.
Oh, 7. Holy fuck.
Wow. Yeah. So you do an autopsy as you go through. The only thing wrong with this man is that his heart was stabbed.
And now we know that for sure.
Yeah, it hit the left ventricle is what we'll say. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, I think Bernie and Goldie, you guys were at the B&B. So you
Yeah.
got all checked in there. She pointed out the field behind the bed and breakfast, and then she told you what times the breakfast would be served.
And is she still in the room with us, or is she
Oh
left
no,
us?
no, no.
Okay.
She went back.
I don't like this Goldie. I didn't see much, but I believe what you guys told me about the champagne. But people are getting killed. He was young, Goldie. He was a young man, and now he's dead.
There's a lot of death on that ship. A lot of death on that ship. And I have a feeling we haven't seen the end of it.
It's just horrible. Well, what should we do about it now that we're here?
Hmm. Well, perhaps we could go look out in the field and see if there's anything of note. I would imagine the sheriffs likely did their work, but maybe there's some clues.
Maybe something got left behind. It might also be a good idea, since we're staying in this B&B and we know that there's violence afoot, we may as well make sure that we're safe here. For all we know, they'll let another knife-wielding maniac in to get us.
Hmm. Well, we've booked up the B&B, so there won't be any further guests, at least.
We have all the rooms.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. There was only 3 rooms, and there's 5 of you, so you're already
Yeah.
Well, that's
doubling
really
up
nice.
a couple of them.
So, but yeah, I like the idea of extra security.
And if it's the only accommodation in town, I guess our man would have stayed here when he came, unless he stayed with a friend. I feel like, have we gone through all of this?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the hostess didn't know anything about
Okay.
about the
Yeah.
chaosium. pretty in the dark.
Mhm.
So
I'm
I'm guessing they were out roughing it or camping or something.
I'm picturing finding like a double ledger where there's one that doesn't have the name and one that does have the name, and they were prepared to conceal. That's sort of what I'm reaching out for here, but I don't know if that's real or not. Um,
They all seem perfectly lovely, Bernie. No need to be paranoid.
Living in Boston has been hard, you know, and then these
Yeah.
Arkham people they're difficult to get
Yeah.
used to.
All right.
Well, we'll go out and investigate the field.
Okay.
Sounds
All
good.
right. Out of the two of you, who has the worst luck?
Ooh,
At 54.
I have 45.
All right, Bernie, give me a luck roll.
Okay. I know how to roll dice. Ah, 64 over 45.
Okay. It has rained since the murder occurred, so the field is a little moist out there, and you know that probably maybe things you were looking for, they're going to be a little bit harder to find and all. So as you
Oh,
go out there and kind of look around, you kind of you can give me a spot hidden, but you need a hard.
sure.
Come on, baby.
Well,
Ooh,
I'm
that's a
glad I brought
12.
my
That's a hard.
wellies.
Nice.
I can make it an extreme.
You don't need an extreme.
Okay.
I also got
Yeah.
a hard.
All right. Okay. All right. So we'll say Goldie, as you're kind of looking around and all, you spot a discarded cigarette package. It is a brand Sweet Afton.
Oh, wait a minute. Sweet what?
Sweet Afton. Afton.
Bernie, are you familiar with this brand?
I never heard of it in my life.
Uh, yeah, I don't smoke. Maybe Manfred might know more about this. I'm gonna pocket that.
Okay. And Bernie, as you're kind of are looking around and stuff, you do find some prints in the still in the grass and all. The mud is not quite it hasn't rained quite hard enough to wash it where you can't find it.
Hey, Goldie, come over here. Check this out.
Hmm.
I found these tracks.
Okay.
I'd like to
Interesting.
look at them more closely. What kind of shoe is it? How big?
Yeah, I mean it's with that
It's
luck you can't really you can just kind of tell that with the hard spot hidden that someone was running within and stuff, but like the grass is starting to kind of pop back up because of the rain and
Sure.
all.
Well, I'm gonna look in the direction the running footsteps are going.
Mm-hmm. Give me a track.
Ooh.
Can I try and assist with this?
Do you have any experience tracking Goldie? Maybe I'll look and say, you know what, Goldie?
Mm.
I
Do you want to try?
have navigate, but I don't have track.
Maybe we should get our hunter man.
Yeah,
We have a
I
guy.
want to get Manfred out here.
I think that's an excellent idea.
All right.
I'm also worried, like, what if these boot marks are just from the police, coming out to get the body?
Mm, it's a very good question.
Might not even be related. Okay. Is it so? It's just like I'm imagining just like an open field. Is there like a forest to the back of this?
There is a forest.
Okay.
Yep. Hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so like on three sides there's buildings. So you've got the let me look at my map here. You got the bed and breakfast, then you've got the general store, and completely on the other side of the field from the bed and breakfast is the library. So the forest is kind of like if you exit the bed and breakfast, face the field, the forest is to your right.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
Well, let's say we walk by the forest and then go collect Manfred, and while there's still light, see if we can't follow these boot tracks.
Yeah, maybe while we're headed back into town, I might stop into the general store and see if this is a brand of cigarettes that they sell local to here.
Okay. All right.
That's a great idea.
All right. Speaking of Manfred, Matt Hodges, he has a third whiskey with you. If you are still drinking, he's definitely having another one.
Yeah, I think that's my round.
Hmm.
Uh, did I ascertain already that his friend Jacob works at the cannery?
Uh, you did not.
Um, so like, yeah, I'll ask about that.
Oh no, Jake works on the fishing vessel. He works on the sea's gifts.
Oh, so he's going to be your instructor as well as your hospitality.
Indeed, yeah. He's quite he's the quite knowledgeable. He's the senior man.
Oh, well, that's handy for you being able to pick up some work in quiet backwater. Okay. So you say he's very protective of the town. Was he born and bred?
Oh no. He moved here, but they welcomed him. He fled the South and all the he's an African American in the KKK down there, and so
Uh,
this town welcomed him in, and they're quite. Yeah, that's why he's quite protective of it because they didn't look down on him.
no, yeah, that's impressive for a little town like this. People can be awful close-minded about localness and whatever. Is he a married fella? Are you
No,
interrupting?
no. He's a single man. Hmm.
Well, I will say it's a good sign about the town, and also, as I understand it, fishing is that kind of business or calling where if you're genuinely good at it, then you'll get respect from people, even if otherwise you'd have nothing in common.
Yeah.
Uh, right. Well,
If you're looking for work, I could possibly get you a job on the ship.
well, at the very least, we might want to take a tour of it since we're here. I'm here with a group of folks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. Come on by. Come on by. Maybe tomorrow afternoon. Right when we come in. When we're cleaning it off and stuff. That might be a good time.
hmm uh, Speaking of which, you probably have to keep real early hours if you're getting out with the fishing boat.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Well, fortunately, my job's really just clean the fish and all. So if I'm got a little hangover in the morning, that's all right. I can sleep it off on the ride out.
uh, all right. Well, I might well take you up on that. About what hour do they come in?
No, we'll usually come in about 5 o'clock.
Very good. Cheers. Thanks for showing me around the place. We'll be seeing you.
Cheers. All right, we'll say you come back there, and Dr. Harding, after the autopsy, assume you may be trying to get everyone kind of back together here. So head on back to the B&B to meet up with Goldie and Bernie. And Dr. Cavendish, what were you doing during the autopsy?
I was going to go. I wander around for a bit, but I'm going to end up back with the deputy
Okay.
and
Mm-hmm.
just chit chat, ask him some questions. Um, you mentioned that you've had very little crime. Obviously, in a
Oh,
town
yeah.
like this I imagine the worst thing you have is a few brawls at the bar and
Oh,
so
well,
forth.
there's no bar here. It's
Well,
but yeah.
cannery folk might get into some scrapes once.
Oh yeah, yeah. You get some fishermen together, and sometimes they get in some arguments. And me and the sheriff, we just kind of rounding up, letting cool their jets.
Well, they're good, honest, hardworking people, and
Hmm. Yeah, and
tempers rise.
Nothing
But
like a
Mr.
punch to the mouth to settle an argument, and then they're friends the next day.
But Mr. Torres, was he a stranger, not frequent to your town?
Yeah, I'd never seen him before. The only reason we knew his name was his ID.
It's his ID. Um, so, I mean, I imagine you and the sheriff, do you have patrols? You walk around, you check things out.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
have you seen other strangers, especially, and I'm going to give him the time period about, say, a week after the champagne,
Hmm.
you know, give the people
Yes.
time to, if I'm assuming I'm looking for people leaving the ship going.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
He goes,
any other strangers in town?
he's like, yeah, yeah, we've had a couple of strangers in town. Oh, around that time frame, he's like, well, you always have people come through. One thing I remember, there was one gentleman, man, he was is a big man, and bulky, not heavy set, but he uh he got in an argument with what's his name? With Mark, the general store manager. Got an argument about him, some of his prices and all. Said it was just robbery. It was much cheaper in Europe. And Mark told him, "Well, go back to Europe."
Well, European fellow. That's interesting.
Mhm.
Does his description ring any bells with, have we've seen pictures of the people that we're suspecting,
You have, yep.
haven't we?
Hmm. So,
Um,
yeah, it kind of sounds like that Mickey Spill guy.
oh yeah.
He had
Um,
kind of wild eyes. Mhm.
well, if you see any of these gentlemen or anybody like that, um, if you wouldn't mind contacting us, I know that we're not police,
Oh, yeah.
but we are looking for these people, and I'll give him a little bit of the background,
Hmm.
minus the monsters.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, understandable.
that there seems to be some criminal activity that happened on the Champagne. People were killed, and some people escaped.
Okay,
And one of the people that escaped is the man that was stabbed. Um,
right.
so anything suspicious, and we're staying at
And
Armand's
Armand, yep.
house. Yeah,
Oh, her
Grandma
bed and breakfast.
Granny Armand's bed
Granny.
and
Oh yeah, Gail. Yeah, she's a sweet old woman.
It's me and the doctor who's downstairs
Hmm.
with Dr. Jones and a number of other people. We've got a woman, Goldie Holiday, and two women, Goldie Holiday and Bernie Green, and Manfred Carey, who's kind of the leader of our group.
Oh, okay. Oh. Well,
So you will see us around town. Sure.
okay. Well, as long as you're not causing any problems and you're staying
No.
at the bed and breakfast, you're perfectly welcome.
Excellent. Oh, I see Dr. Hardy must be finished.
Mhm.
He's it's very nice talking to you. I hope to see you again.
You too.
I'll go join Dr. Hardy as he's getting ready to leave.
All right. Sounds good.
So they have seen strangers in town that
Oh, have they?
fit the time period from people we'd expect. I don't know if they're still here though. They could have left. They could be long gone.
Hmm.
Moved to
Well,
California. Anything on the body?
no, just a stab wound.
And how are you? Are you
Oh, I'm doing wonderfully.
excellent?
All
I
right.
feel rejuvenated.
Well, everybody has their kinks, and yours is an interesting one. I shall write a paper on it. Let's go see if we can find the others and join them.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
glad I will go down into history as one of your footnotes.
I'm sure you will make a name for yourself.
All right, we'll say you
nothing
guys
wrong with-
all kind of meet back up at the bed and breakfast there.
There's nothing wrong with enjoying your chill.
That's true. Okay. All right. So when you guys get back together, we'll say it's probably about seven in the evening and all. Now, it's August up in the Northeast, so the sun's still up.
We relate, of course, to the others, everything that we come across. The sheriff's deputy told me that there was an argument between a man who's described very much like Bicky Spill and the general store owner next door. I mean, maybe that's a lead to follow up.
Makes sense. We should go talk to them, see what they saw. Goldie and I found some strange footprints in the field that we aren't qualified to follow, but we thought you, Manfred, could go out and take a gander at them.
Probably should have a look at that while there's still decent light.
It's kind of rough going because of the recent rains. Hey, and we also found this pack of cigarettes. These sound familiar to you? I've never heard of this brand before.
What is it?
Sweet Afton.
I think that's British Isles. I think that might even be a Bernie. Isn't that I think that's a sailor's brand. Or maybe, I just met an eccentric one. I don't know.
Once you say that, I can look at it. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't smoke cigarettes, but I believe they might be Irish.
Well, that would be consistent.
Have a track.
Yeah.
Yes. I was going to say, yes, right here on the bottom of the package, it does say made in Ireland.
So somebody probably bought them in Ireland and brought them back with them on the champagne.
Well, perhaps
nothing in the pockets of the dead guy.
Mm-hmm.
But they had his ID, so he must have been carrying something. Otherwise, they would have known who he was. Well, I wonder if that was I wonder what it's like. I was going to say driver's license, but I don't know what the likelihood that Torres would have a driver's license is. He might have had his passport since he got on the champagne and got onto a lifeboat.
Oh, well. I mean, Dr. Cavendish and them, they saw his stuff. We'll say it was a student ID.
Well, go ahead, Doctor.
I was just going to say before dinner, Manfred wants to take a look at the field. Maybe we could also walk next door to the general store. It's next door to the Moz.
Yeah.
Across the street.
The library is. Mm-hmm.
The other question is whether we want to rely on the Widow Armand for dinner or go back to old Thom Cod.
I don't know.
If there's fresh groceries next door, I wouldn't mind making dinner for us if Widow Armand would let me into her kitchen.
I mean, she might let you chop carrots, but I imagine she doesn't let any other too many cooks after all. But let's see these if these are really.
Yeah. I'll go show you out. I'll go show you out to the Prince. If you all want to head next door.
Yeah. I would just like to add one thing that so far every single person that I've met in this town seems to be very cordial and very friendly, and it seems like a very nice place to live.
Yeah, pretty suspicious
fish.
Are you looking to move, Alloy? Are you looking to retire from the university, settle in a
No, not for quite some time, but who knows, someday.
It's true. I could see setting up here.
If it wasn't for the fish smell, I would I'd consider it.
You get used to it.
I'm sure.
I'm sure nobody here smells it anymore, which is why they don't bother to wash it off when they sit down to a meal.
Exactly. We'll make a fisherman of you yet, Manfred.
Not likely. Although I've got an invite to tour a fishing vessel tomorrow afternoon. We're not the only out-of-towners around, but you know, I just met a gambler. The whiskey's, for a place of this size, could be worse. I'm sure it comes from Canada.
Well, and it's still prohibition, so
Well, that's exactly why I
having to
wasn't
sneak it
expecting
in.
anything too good. Yeah.
So who would like to come next door to the general store?
I'll
go.
come with you.
All right.
Yes, I will. I will join you.
We can get some
Right.
supplies.
Right. Right. Um, we'll do Manfred and Goldie first. So you guys go out into the field. Both of you give me a spot hidden.
Oh, 4.
Right.
03, we're wasting our rolls.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, as you go out there, you see coming out of the library, you see Big Tom, the cook at the thing, and he sees you, and he quickly kind of looks down, almost like he's kind of embarrassed, and then he quickly goes around the corner to the front to the street, and you see him headed back toward the diner.
Why would he be? Why would he run like a rabbit out of the library?
Yeah, and he doesn't seem like the sort to sneak through stacks. Should we investigate?
Well, I mean, I want to get into the field again while there's better light and before anything else changes. But I understand.
Also, the library's open this late. That's interesting. Libraries typically aren't open at 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be interested to see what kind of structure this place has. A town like this having a library at all is kind of surprising.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
apparently, you have some competition in the heartthrob department because the librarian is rumored to be hot stuff.
Oh, interesting. We'll have to. Perhaps they're meeting up for an evening tryst.
He made a joke about the Widow Armand too. Small
Yeah,
towns, you know.
the love triangles here, the love quadrangles.
All right. All right. So you're gonna go find the boot prints. You find them without any problem. Goldie kind of remembers where they were,
Mhm.
and you can give me a track roll.
08, a hot diggity.
Wow.
So that's an
well
extreme because my extreme it goes to 11.
Nice. All right. So as you follow them, it takes a bit, but they lead into the woods, and you're able with an extreme, you kind of able to go into the woods, and it gets pretty thick foliage and all in there, and so you'll say you go in about far enough where if you kind of look back, you can barely see the edge of the forest and all, but you can still see the tracks go on. But with an extreme, you also notice where you're at. You see some other boot prints also meeting up here, leading on further into the forest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was hoping we'd get to a little kick dirt over a little camp spot before too long. Uh, my impression is that these prints still stand out, even though people picked up a body and things because they were running, so they're heel heavy.
Yeah.
And the forest here is it pine or deciduous or mixed?
We'll say it's mixed.
And what's on the other side? Like, is this the edge of a large forest, or is this a band of? Okay.
No, it's a large forest.
Yeah. Well, I've got a flashlight in my bag, but let's see how far we can keep an eye on this just before it fades anymore. They'll probably last in here longer because they won't be rained on directly. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
let's just go as long as we've got decent light. They might have a stash somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys continue on into the forest. You got your little flashlight with you and all. And both of you give me a spot hidden.
Oh, I missed by 3, so I'll spend if it's useful.
I got it like right on the money.
Regular?
Yeah, regular.
Okay. As you're kind of walking along, we're talking another 5-10 minutes into the woods and stuff. You see up ahead some movement, and it's definitely three people kind of moving around, and they don't see you.
Okay.
They're wearing like kind of robes, but like the cowl's not up or anything.
I'm gonna just hold back, Manfred. Just put my finger to my lips. Just kind of crouch down.
Oh no, let's get up close, but not draw attention. And I'm gonna check my Colt and make sure that it's readied, but I'm not gonna carry it in my hand. I'm just gonna make sure that it's chambered and proper. And yeah, let's bush to bush kind of thing.
All right. So you guys are
3
gonna
people,
try it.
light robes or dark robes?
Kind of a darker brown.
How the hell are they still in the forest so close to where the body was found? Is the sheriff a complete idiot? Unless it's him. These look like adult men.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So real quiet.
Yeah.
All right. Both of you give me a stealth, but you get a bonus die.
Okay.
Oh, that's good because that first roll was a 90. And the second is a 60, which is still a failure.
That's 60. I can spend 13 points of luck. I don't know if I want to do that.
Well, Manfred also failed, so I'll let you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to spend 11, and I've already spent a few. I guess we're just gonna step on a twig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're stepping on a twig.
So when you do, they kind of turn around, and you see one of them is holding a wide double-bladed knife.
Okay. Knife out.
And we'll move to Dr. Cavendish, Bernie, and Gregory.
Nice.
Okay, so all right, so coming into the general ding, ding, the general store, you come in and let me find the page here for the general store. There it is. So when you come in, it opens up and you see a large man. He's kind of up on a little raised platform, and he's got a well-stocked shelves behind him. There's a door further on back that says employees only, and he looks up. He goes, "Can I help you?"
Oh, good evening. We are strangers in town. We're staying at Granny
Armand's.
her name. Armand's.
Oh, Gail's bed and breakfast. Oh, yeah, yes.
Yes.
What can I do for you?
Well, we thought we would just look around.
Oh, more than welcome.
We're actually in town, mainly doing a bit of an investigation on the murder that took place.
Oh,
That you're aware of.
Yeah, right behind my store.
Have you seen strangers in town lately, like in the past couple of weeks?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's one of the first places they come is here if they're going to be staying, unless they're going to rely on Gail Armand's bed and breakfast or eat at Big Tom's and stuff. And I will tell you that Miss Armand, she makes wonderful breakfasts.
Wonderful.
We've
We're
heard
looking
this
forward to
several
that.
times
Well,
about
yeah.
Miss Armand's breakfasts.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, word gets around in a small town.
yeah, it must.
We were over visiting with the sheriff and the sheriff's deputy, and they mentioned that you had had some sort of uh, a row with one of the strangers. We should have
Oh,
got photographs of everybody involved.
Oof. Yeah, that would have been a
oh,
good
well,
idea.
yeah, I got in an argument with a one guy. Have you ever met someone that, they're just itching for a fight no matter what? You tell them the sky's blue and they disagree just because they want to argue.
A football player, perhaps, from the university.
He
Is that what
he
he
was
looked
he
like?
he was built like a football player.
Young?
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. But probably in his 20s, young 20s probably. But yeah.
Hmm.
hmm
Did he say, did you hear anybody call him by name?
Uh, no, I didn't. I didn't. I mean, but everyone he when he bought stuff, I got his name. His name was Mickey. So,
Ah,
Hmm. And did he have scary
Mickey's.
eyes?
oh yeah, yeah. He was very interesting. Claimed he was visiting his uncle Lucas.
Interesting. Lucas Spill also?
No, 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 no. Lucas Lucas Barnes.
Hmm.
A local, somebody you know?
I
Lucas
used to be a
Barnes?
fisherman. I haven't seen Lucas in a while. He retired a few years ago.
Hmm.
I don't want to alarm you, but um, we're sort of involved in an investigation. It has to do with the murder. It has to do with a number of things. But if you see this man, Mickey Spill is his last name,
Bill, okay.
um, uh, you know, don't be alarmed. Do whatever if he buys stuff, just let him buy it. But please alert the sheriff and or the deputy. Um, and be careful. He may be dangerous.
Hmm. Oh, of course Yeah, I'll be careful. Yeah, but don't worry. I keep a shotgun underneath the counter, so if
Ah, good, good.
trouble comes around, I've never had to use it, but
This Lucas you mentioned. Have any idea where he lived?
uh, he was out outside of towns. All I know. I think it's up to the north, but I never delivered it up there. Like I said, he used to come in like on his way back from his ship and all when he docked it. What was the name of that ship? He's like, oh, he'll come to me. He'll come to me. The Southern Wind. Southern Wind. That was the name of the ship.
Is it still in the harbor?
No,
The
no, no,
Sutherland?
no.
She's been scuttled or put up on
Uh,
blocks and retired.
I imagine the second one. I can't imagine someone purposely scuttling their ship, even if they weren't going to be out fishing anymore. You could sell it.
Hmm.
And you haven't
Hmm.
seen this Uncle Lucas for some time, so he may
No.
have moved on. We don't know.
Mhm.
Well, I do want to give you our patronage, so let's see what we've got. And
Yes, I would quite like to purchase these cans of sardines, please.
Oh, cans of sardines, of course. He goes. He's like, can is a dime each.
A dime. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So much cheaper out there.
I will buy
Yeah.
3 cans.
Oh,
Nice.
thank you. Ching.
I'll get some pipe tobacco and
Okay. Oh, when he goes
I'm
back to the tobacco, he gets them out, and all you see there's like Lucky Strike cigarettes and some other American brands and stuff there.
and they probably
But
don't carry a Sweet Aston.
They do not.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely brought those into town.
curiouser and curiouser. I'm gonna look for any kind of fresh fruit or veg. I thought that sounded like a good idea, what Goldie said.
Hmm.
Is there any fresh food that isn't fish-based or out of a tin?
Carrots or
Um,
celery and
that's sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He'll have some.
nice. Okay, so I'll pick up some apples or whatever.
Yeah, whatever would be in season in New England in August. I don't know, but
Yeah, I think it would probably be apples, maybe.
mhm.
other if we've seen pictures of the people we're chasing,
Mhm.
I'd like to ask him, probably it sticks in your mind when you see strangers in town when they come in, other than Mr. Spill. Were there people with him
Oh, with Mickey? No, no, he was here by himself.
by himself?
Mhm.
But well, I guess I don't know what else to ask.
Yeah, we have Lucas. What was Lucas's background before
A
he was a
fisher,
spooky guy in the woods? He was a fisherman.
Mhm.
Has there been any
has a
nasty
boat.
gossip about him?
You can give me a charm on that, a charm, or
Nice.
maybe a persuade, not an intimidate though. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm more persuasive than I am charming.
Hmm.
So, well, we'll see how I do. I got a 49 under 50. So I
Okay.
maybe just barely don't over push the point of trying to explain to him that we really do need the collaboration. Any
Oh,
lead.
yeah. He goes, it's like, oh, no bad rumors about Lucas. No, no, he had a friend that would come in. He come in from Arkham. He would come
Hmm.
once a summer. He would come in. Said he was a professor out there and at the university there. Can't
You
remember
wouldn't
his.
happen to know. No.
No,
Was it Dr. What's his face? Gregory Alloy? What was the guy's name?
the professor. It was Dr. Sebastian was the professor that went on that trip.
Aha.
So. Uh, if you say doctor, if you say that, he goes, "Oh yes, 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 yes." Professor Sebastian, yeah, I remember him. Talked to him a few times at the church. Oh,
Interesting. Interesting.
yeah.
Is there anything else?
Him and Lucas, they've known each other for years.
Hmm. Hmm. What is a university professor doing visiting a fisherman every summer? I mean, maybe they're friends or something, but how did they meet?
Oh, well, I don't know that. I mean, people
That's
meet
odd.
meet meet people all the time in different walks of life.
There is definitely a previous connection there.
Huh.
Um, are you a church-going man?
Good
Like all
question.
good Americans, yes.
Wow, that's really judgy. No. Um, uh, what's uh, what's the pastor like?
Was the
We
pastor what?
heard. What's he like? We
Oh, the pastor, Malcolm. He is a wonderful priest. He preaches. he preaches tolerance and love for your fellow man and all. He's why we've accepted so many people that are fleeing from the South and discrimination. And that's why I always this murder kind of bothers us, and I'm worried that people will start saying being trusting of outsiders, which we shouldn't be.
Last thing we want.
We're hoping to clear all this up and continue our investigation. We all want the same thing: peace and quiet and safety.
True, indeed. Yes.
Well, gentlemen, anything else? Bubble gum?
We have some, as long as you don't spit it onto the sidewalk.
I'm gonna take a walk around the store. Is there anything unusual or abnormal? Any bizarrely ripe fruit out of season?
Nah.
No.
Nope. Looks like good
fish statues in the corner.
Exactly. Ritual equipment for the worship of the old ones or something.
No, there's none of that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, let's go see if we can make ourselves useful to Granny Armand.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Goldie and Manfred. Oh, no problem. So the guy with the knife, he kind of turns and looks at you. So he's got obviously he's not wearing a suit like he is in the picture here, but he's got red hair, and he speaks it with a very thick Irish accent. And he goes, "You're messing with forces you can't understand. You need to turn away from here unless you want to suffer the same fate of those aboard the SS Champagne."
We are those aboard the SS Champagne, you little shit. And I'm going to pull out my Colt and fire a warning shot, maybe halfway between my feet and his.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got the murder weapon in his hand, so...
Okay. Well, when you do that, he kind of hops back. He goes, "Hey, whoa!" He's like don't be starting trouble there, sir.
You're the one who's causing trouble here, sir, and I believe you should come with us.
Yeah.
Why would I go with you? Who are you?
We're the survivors of that hell you unleashed on the sea, and we're the ones who put it down, and you're next. Why don't you come into town and show the sheriff your pretty knife, kid?
Because we won't be doing that. And if you think we're the ones that unleashed that thing on the sea, then you're more confused than I thought.
Well, that's very interesting. Why don't you sheathe your fancy blade, come a little closer, and tell us what we don't understand? I will otherwise start perforating you.
So he kind of he puts the knife kind of in like his sheath. I guess I don't know why I was struggling for that word. And he approaches. He's like going, "How do I know you were on the ship? I know the only survivor of the ship."
Michelle?
Yeah.
You're part of the Order of the Stone, aren't you?
Are you? Oh, what? Goldie?
Yes, sir. And this is Manfred Carey. We were one of the few survivors on that hellhole.
Oh, well, I think that we thought we were at cross purposes, but maybe we're instead on the same side. He's like, "My name is Tobias. I am Michelle's brother."
Mm, I figured from the
Uh,
hair.
Wow. Lot of Irishmen have red hair.
How is
Yes.
Michelle? I haven't heard from her since we got back to the States.
She is doing much better thanks to you and all. She's continuing her research, trying to figure out where they went. You know, we tracked them to here, but we can't. And I was able to strike one of them down, but I can't figure out where they were hiding.
Hmm.
uh, might be on the water.
Hmm.
Uh, is this so? Where are you hiding yourselves?
Goes, we're much deeper in the forest. We've got a little camp set up about 45 minutes further on from here.
And what brought you back to the scene of the crime tonight?
Trying to find some more leads and all. You know, unfortunately, weren't able to get the body out of there before someone found it. And now going into town is a little
Yeah,
dangerous.
yeah, they're on the lookout for any suspicious folks.
I I wouldn't recommend that you keep the ceremonial knife around either, given that its description is in the newspaper. Uh, can you introduce the other two?
Goes, oh, of course, of course, of
Thanks.
course. He goes, this here is James, and he goes, and this one here is like Jonathan. He uh, goes, well, well to meet you. Are the others with you? He said there was a Dr. Harding survived, and unfortunately, I heard two didn't make it off the ship.
Yeah, no, we got the ship captain who took us out. We got what's left of Harding, but I'd call him shell shocked.
Mm.
And we've picked up a psychologist who's been trying to help with the recovery.
Oh, well,
Uh,
good. Mm.
Do you think that they brought part of that creature here to the States?
I
We
I
have
th
a tough
I think
time understanding what we're chasing after here.
because I think they did. I think they brought the urns here to the States. To what purpose? I assume to release that creature.
and you don't know where Torres was staying before you found him? How'd you find him?
Well, Michelle heard them talking about the southern winds before all the trouble went on, and we were able to through some research found assume that it was a ship that was registered to Lucas Barnes. And we were able to track him to this town where that ship was registered, but we haven't been able to find where he lives. We just happened upon Torres coming into town back and forth. He was going to the library. We knew we could ambush him there, try and get the information out of him. I might have gotten a little too stabby.
Carried away, as it were. What was he doing at the library? Do you know?
I don't.
Before you intercepted Torres and sent him to what I could only assume would be his eternal punishment, did you get much of the lay of the land of this town?
Yeah, we had been moving around quite a bit before the incident.
It's a weird place.
No, it's got its charm. It's a little isolated, I'd say, but
And winds led you to Lucas Barnes. Have you found if that's the name of his ship, have you located that vessel?
No, no, we went to the harbor master and he said that they had that it was no longer paying its docking fee at the wharf, so it hadn't been there for over a year.
Why would they bring the urns to this backwater? Hmm. Is there some way, we just got rooms at the bed and breakfast in town. Is there a way we can reach you if we learn something?
Um, it's like, how about if we have something that we want to share? We tie a little cloth, and he points at a kind of a unique looking tree to there, and I'll come check this tree in the let's say about uh, 7 at night, and if something's there, then we'll wait to meet.
Got a better idea, Goldie?
Sounds good enough.
Oh, it strikes me that even though we're in the woods, that shot probably rang out far enough that somebody might come looking. So I guess you lads should skedaddle back to your hidey hole.
Well,
How long have you been here in the States?
oh, I got here about 3 weeks ago. I came over. Michelle telegrammed me almost immediately after getting landing. She came in a lifeboat. I guess you knew that, and she telegraphed me, and I caught the next ship over and brought some the rest of the order with me.
Is this it for the order?
We got a few more people hiding out in the woods. Well,
Well, one down, I guess. Uh,
yeah,
but
well,
with no knowledge of where the urns are. Yeah, I guess we need to look at some of these vessels.
it's like, well, we'll keep searching around here the best we can, but we're not going to be coming into town anymore.
Yeah, wisely not.
So, kind of nods, and him and the other two they nod at you and they head back into to the forest. And Manfred, and you can give me like a we'll say, do you have any like outdoor survival or anything?
Yeah, I've got wilderness survival.
Yeah, yeah. You
Yep.
give me that roll.
Oh, I made it by one.
All right. Watching them leave, you kind of get the impression that they're not skilled woodsmans, and so they're kind of instead of walking in single file, they're walking side by side. They're snapping some branches, and
Yeah,
they're out of their element.
yeah. I mean,
Kind of like
they're from a village, but it's a seaside village and another continent. They're 45 minutes into this forest somewhere. Uh, uh, Best of luck, I guess.
yeah, I almost offered to get them some supplies.
I almost
It
asked
reminds me of
them.
Michelle. Michelle wasn't exactly a hardened veteran or anything. She,
No, a brave lass, as they say, but yeah, they were mostly a social club.
yeah,
I almost asked them to draw the awful squiggle thing just to prove they weren't full of shit, but
Hmm.
it actually,
I don't know. I feel like I feel like they're telling the truth. There's no way they could have known all of that. Um,
Yeah, there's no way they would have known your name.
yeah.
Well, let's head back uh, and see if the others brought anything up.
All right.
And let's see. I'll say if anybody asks about the gunshot, that once a hunter,
We're
always a
hunting.
hunter.
Yeah.
Okay.
We wanted
Right.
some quail for dinner. Better than the cod, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So you guys are headed back. On their way back, what are the other three doing?
So we've left the general store.
Hmm.
It's not quite sundown, I guess. Well, Ellie and Gregory, I am happy to carry things back to the Airbnb, to the inn for us. I'd like to freshen up a little bit before dinner. Do you boys want to go check out the church that the shopkeep mentioned, or the library?
We can wander over to the church. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for us all to stick together. We're going to be coming back for dinner. I wasn't sure whether Manfred wanted to eat at the diner or if Mrs. Armand was going to cook for us. Somebody
We'll
could
say,
check up on that.
yeah, we'll say when you guys are kind of leaving the general store, you see Miss Armand kind of sitting out on her front porch in a rocker. And when she sees you, she's like going, were you needing me to make you a dinner?
Well, I'd happily eat what you have to offer, Mrs. Armand, but I've got to talk to my colleagues. Uh, wow, I got Southern really quickly there.
Yeah. Where'd you come from? She goes, well, just let me know soon. If not, I'm going to be going to bed.
All right, thank you. Yeah, all those years in Mississippi really rubbed off on me.
Maybe she doesn't have to go to any trouble. We can go to the diner.
Sounds good. And anyway, it sounds like the breakfast is really what she's known for.
Yeah. She
I
probably
mean,
gets
it
up
is a
early
bed
to
and
do that.
breakfast after all, not a bed
Yeah.
and dinner.
Not a dorm and dinner.
They don't slip anything by
We don't
here.
talk about D&D here, okay?
Yeah.
No room for that here. Uh, I think I'll head towards the church. I
Okay.
mean, chances are it's probably, I'm going to assume that maybe there's a little house attached to the church where
Hmm.
the pastor would live.
Yeah.
Not sure what
Okay.
I'm going to ask him. I'm just going to say hi.
All right. What's Bernie and Dr. Gregory doing?
I'm gonna go back to the bed and breakfast, unpack our things into our rooms. It sounds like we're gonna be here at least a couple nights, so honestly, I'm probably going to wash my face, wash my hands, and so on, and get ready to meet people for dinner. Um, I'm still not quite given up on this idea of finding a second spooky lodge book or whatever the deal is with Widow Armand. So
Okay. All right. And Dr. Gregory? Pardon?
Well, I mean, Eloy is trying to keep my appetite up.
Hmm.
And he says that I should actually eat things instead of dissecting them. Um, so I'm going to be spending my time very conscientiously eating the sardines.
All right. All right. I love it. Love it. In your room or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, Bernie's going to wash his face. Dr. Gregory's going to enjoy some sardines. And, Dr. Cavendish, you're headed to the church. So, Dr. Cavendish, as you're leaving, you see a gentleman walking toward the library. Uh, he looks kind of like he's probably had something to drink. So you see this gentleman kind of walking through the library. He's got a little bit of a wobble in his step. He goes to the side door, kind of knocks on it, and the door opens. You see he kind of looks both ways, and then he goes into the library.
I wasn't with them when they met Hodges.
No, no, the only person that knows him is Manfred.
Okay. Oh, well, he's had company. I think I might if they've got business of some sort, I think that I will hang around outside. I don't want to interrupt
No, you
whatever's
were just
going
passing
on.
by as you're headed toward the church.
Oh,
He
wait.
was he was going into the library.
Hodges went into the library. Okay. Okay. I
Yeah.
thought you said he was going into the pastor's
No, no, no.
room. Well, I'll notice that and then I will
Hmm.
I don't know who the man is. He's a
Nope,
stranger,
nope,
so I'm
nope.
gonna
You just kind of stuck out because he was kind of weaving as he walked and stuff, and
yeah,
then
drunk.
yeah, and then that looking
Odd
back and
going into
forth
the
before he goes in.
library.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay. All right.
I'll make note of that, but oh, I don't know. Now that I'm distressed, since I didn't really have anywhere to go, um, I was gonna go to the pastor, but if I see that, I might wander. Oh, is the library still open?
No,
Is there a glass front on it, or is it a wooden building? Probably.
yeah, it's a wooden building.
I will detour a little, going towards like if there's a sidewalk, or
Hmm.
I'll walk along that, and if there's little windows in the library, I'll just look in to see if lights are on or see if I see him inside it with someone.
Okay.
But
Give
I'm trying to be not
yeah, like peeping
suspicious.
Tom, creep,
Right.
creep. Okay. All right. Give me a spot hidden.
I got a 33. Let's see what it is. I've got 45, so I'm regular.
Okay. So as you look in there, you see this woman here, the librarian, and it looks like she is in a lover's embrace with the man that you saw snuck in there.
So I will call the police. No, I will just I will just I'll just keep going back towards the
Right.
pastors.
Gotcha. Okay. All
And if
right.
she's murdered tomorrow, then I'll know who did it. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'll
Okay.
just head towards the church.
All right. So the church. Go. I think I brought his picture up. Yeah. Okay.
Directory, maybe.
Yeah.
What kind of
So
church is it? It sounds either
it
Catholic or
is
Episcopalian.
it's Episcopalian. Yeah.
Episcopalian. Okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay. And when you show up, this is the pastor. So he greets you. He goes,
Well, Father,
he
good
goes,
evening.
oh, yes. He's like, welcome to Our Lady of the Sea. I'm Father Nathan's. How may I assist you?
Well, actually, I'm just getting to know some of the people in town. We're going to be here for a few days,
Oh,
and
well, that's wonderful.
um, I see from the front of the billboard that the time for services on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. He goes,
Um,
yes, we would love to have you. Oh,
so I'd say we chit chat for a few minutes about
mm-hmm.
just what
Yeah,
strangers would talk about.
yeah.
Um, do you get a lot of out of towners at your church services?
We do. I mean, we're not exactly a tourist town, but we do get some out of towners. Generally every service.
Wow,
Hmm.
that's quite a bit. mostly what business people coming from for the cannery and
Yeah, or people
things like that.
visiting family, and
I'm so over the course of maybe 15 or 20 minutes, I'm trying to feel him out to see if he seems nice.
yeah,
Every
he seemed like a very kind man. You y- he keeps talking about, treating people with kindness and equality and stuff. You get the impression he's what,
and
preachers
everything looks
should be.
legitimately Episcopalian.
Yep, yep, exactly.
Yeah,
Hmm.
right. No statue of Dagon up.
No statue of Dagon and stuff. Ignore the statue of Hastur.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
So I'm going to ask him more or less the same things I've been asking everybody, strangers in town.
Yeah.
If I feel after half an hour, if I feel really comfortable with him, I might tell him also why we're here and that there were some horrible, horrible things that took place on the champagne,
Okay.
and
He
we're
goes,
afraid that some of the people responsible might
oh, this
be.
the champagne. He's like, oh, I remember hearing about that and all. It's quite sad and all. One of my parishioners, his friend was lost on the champagne and all.
Oh dear.
Mhm.
Oh, who is that?
Uh, Lucas Barnes, his friend was Professor Sebastian. He would come and visit every summer, and he would attend the services with him.
So I'm going to take advantage of the other conversations I've had and
Hmm.
be like, oh yes, Mr. At the general store
Oh, Mr.
mentioned
Hallbringer. Hmm.
had Holbringer had mentioned Mr. Barnes, and apparently a cousin is visiting from Arkham.
Oh,
Apparently,
I didn't realize Lucas had a cousin. But I mean, he, we all have family members. We don't mention it to everyone we meet.
and a professor has been visiting him. Professor Sebastian. Did I know
Yeah,
that, or did
yeah, yeah.
did that
He's like, yeah. Well, Professor Sebastian, from what I understood, he perished in the accident, the ship
Yes,
sinking.
he was a colleague of mine from Miskatonic University.
So sorry
Um,
to hear.
I should very much like to meet this Mr. Barn. Um,
Oh, well,
where does he live?
he lives outside of town. He's like, oh, and I would have to get it, dig through the registry and stuff. He shows up. He attends service. He'll be here on Sunday.
What day of the week is it?
We'll say it's Friday.
Okay. Oh well, then maybe I'll drop by. I'm sure that we will.
Hmm.
Uh, my colleagues and I. So if there's nothing else that I get out of this guy,
Yeah,
I will.
yeah. He seemed like a very kind, caring person. Of course, he quotes from the Bible much better than I ever could, and so
The uh, the people in your town all seem very wholesome, very
they
kind,
are.
very friendly. You've done
They
a good
are.
job.
Ah, thank you.
Well,
All right.
good evening. I have to go meet my friends for
Good
dinner.
evening. All right. So, Dr. Harding, the sardines, um, when you open up the first can to start enjoying them, just for a brief moment, it looks like the fish are like wiggling a little. And then you kind of maybe shake your head and you look back and looks like a normal can of sardines again.
This calls for an investigation.
Okay.
So I want to. I'm going to go to my bag and pull out my medical stuff.
Okay.
Um, and I'm going to start dissecting cutting open
Okay.
the sardines.
So the first couple ones, they cut open like you would expect a sardine to. The third one, when you start cutting into it, if you've ever skinned a fish when it's still alive, like a cat, you know how they'll kind of flop quite a lot. If you haven't, they do. And this thing kind of flops and jerks because like when you do that, they feel pain, and then it stops. Like,
Fascinating. So I'm going to proceed to cut it the rest of the way open.
mm-hmm.
Does it
Yep.
still have all of its innards and what have you?
It has what's I don't eat sardines, so however sardines are packed, I don't know if they're gutted or not when they so
Yeah, they are usually, I believe.
okay. All right.
We have their heads taken off too, but
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So with that little bit of fascination, I'm going to set that can aside
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to open up the next one.
Okay. All right. When you open it up, inside, is apparently headless sardines because that's what they do. And you hear off to your right, wherever you'd set that other can, a little bit of a like wet splash and all. And as you look over, it looks like again the sardines inside are kind of splashing about.
What about this open can?
It looks like a normal can of sardines.
They're not flopping around.
No,
And if I poke them,
uh, they act how you would expect. Just they sit there because they're dead.
does this container say where these were canned?
Yeah, yeah, it does. They are all proudly canned in Greyport.
Excellent. Very local.
Mm-hmm.
If I open up the third can of sardines,
Mm-hmm. So you open up the third can of sardines. You look in there, and it looks like normal sardines again. This time, you the can that is on the that you first can you set aside, it falls off of the table that you'd set it on and hits the ground and kind of splashes, and the three of the sardines fall out, and their headless bodies are kind of flopping around on the floor.
well, I'm going to very carefully, and the third sardine can, they're all inert.
Yep.
Okay, I will go to the ones that are flopping on the ground and I will scoop them up.
Mm-hmm.
I will put them as best I can back into their can,
Okay.
into their tin, I should say.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take this tin, and I'm going to go because I believe Bernie is still around.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I am.
So hey Bernie,
Yeah, Dr. Harding.
you should come take a look at this.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I'll be right there. And I come in sort of in a
Okay. All right, Bernie. So when you come in, it smells very. He's got three open cans of sardines in his room, so it's got that quite a smell to it. But you were a sea captain on a fishing boat, so you're
Oh,
like, yeah, it smells pretty
smells like
normal.
home to me.
Yeah. He's holding a can out in front of you. It looks like there's a sardine in there that he's cut open, and some other sardines that he's just kind of put back into the can. Like it's like kind of anytime you open up something, you can never get it kind of laid back in there like it was when
Mhm.
it was manufactured and all. And,
These are these are the sardines we bought. You opened them. I'm very, very
Well,
proud of you, Gregory.
no. But just watch, just watch.
I'm
and so,
watching.
yeah. So, Bernie, as you're watching it, it's a can of sardines. Okay. Dr. Gregory, as you kind of keep looking at it, the one you're holding, yeah, they've got just a little bit of a wiggle on it. Maybe they're not as lively as before, but you're positive that when you look right at it and they're not moving, but how you see movement with your peripheral vision. Every time you look up to Bernie, they get right there kind of in the peripheral vision and you swear they're moving again.
Now, see, look, isn't this fascinating?
Uh, it's a tin of fish. Is everything all right, Gregory?
No,
Are his eyes?
just watch. I'm gonna start prodding one of them with the knife.
So, Barney, you see Dr. Harding sticking his knife into a inert sardine.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So, Gregory, why don't we put the sardines down and take a seat on the bed here?
Oh yes, they'll be more lively if they don't think we're watching.
Of course, of course. I'm going to bring you a glass of water. Maybe there's a sink in the room or something. I can get some water for him.
It's at the end of the hallway.
Okay. I'm gonna grab you some water, Gregory. I need some too, frankly. All the fishy smells, So bring us some water. Sit him down. Now, Gregory, what exactly do you think you're seeing?
Oh, see.
What? The sardines.
Yes, in the can.
Shh.
Oh, yes.
We don't want to scare them.
The sardines in the can.
Just wait.
You know what happens when they put them in that? Okay.
Oh, as you are sitting there, the tin of sardines there, they're not. There's one fish that's still moving every time you kind of start looking away there, Dr. Harding. But it's becoming the ones you stab with the knife. They're not moving anymore. You must have taken care of those.
And I continue to see nothing.
Yeah, nothing. No, no.
Well, they really are dead, Gregory. I think your dissection worked perfectly.
Almost all.
I think it's probably almost time for dinner. Maybe too much fish isn't great for the brain of someone who is as intelligent as you. Have you considered an apple or some chicken or something?
Oh, chicken sounds
I'm just thinking, get your
sounds
mind
fine.
away. Yeah.
Excuse me for one moment, and I'm gonna go over to the can of sardines,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm
Okay.
gonna poke the one that's still moving.
Okay. When you do, it stops moving. It's very satisfying. You put an end to its wriggling. I mean, it's probably drowning because wasn't any water, and fish need water. So,
Poor bastards. Tinned up alive.
But if they but they pasture anyway. Yes, of course, Gregory. The poor bastards were tinned up alive.
okay. Right.
We
Well,
need
turning back to Birdie, knife still in hand. So how's your
Well-
unpacking going?
it's not yet complete. I think perhaps I ought to be getting back there and finishing up. I'm expecting the other folks back any moment now. And then we'll have dinner down the street, it sounds like. How is unpacking going for you? You got distracted. I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant to leave him alone, but also don't want him to know that I'm supervising him.
Yeah.
I see you were distracted by your sardine snack. Would you like me to hang up your suits, brush them off from the road?
Oh no, no, no. Don't worry about that. And I will stab one of the sardines and take a bite out of it.
That's that's great, Gregory. I am glad that you're enjoying these sardines. Um, what time is
I
it getting
think
to
they're the
be?
first thing I've had all day.
Yeah.
Really?
We'll say that it's approaching 8:30. Yeah. So sun's going down. It's getting shadows are getting long.
Well, if you're really hungry, Gregory, we should go next door to get some meaningful sustenance rather than just, all that salt can't be very good for you, I don't think. The diner's going to close, exactly.
Oh, well, I had to open them all, you see. Um, I'd hate to waste them, you know.
Yes. Well, we can bring them along to the diner. You can have your comfort sardines with you and play with them while we wait for the food to come.
Play? What do you mean play? This is
I
very
mean,
serious business, Bernie.
of course it is, Gregory. And I'll put my hand
How
around
would
his
you
shoulder.
feel? How would you feel if you were tinned up alive? Hmm?
I've been out on the sea in some small boats in some big storms, tossed around like one of these canned fish on the back of a truck. And it was pretty terrible. So, yeah, if they were going to be canning me, I hope I wouldn't survive very long.
All right. All right, we'll say Goldie and Manfred, you guys are coming back. And you kind of retracing your steps back once you get to the field.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So as you go across there, you guys can both give me a spot hidden.
Ooh, 82.
Can spend 6 points of luck. I think I'm going to save it.
Okay. All right.
Shadow's playing tricks on us.
Mhm.
Do you think, Goldie, that the local sheriff and deputy didn't find either the Irish cigarettes or the footprints because they're incompetent people because there's no real crime here?
That was my guess. I can't imagine that they're used to doing intensive investigations around here. Must have been quite a shock to even see a dead body. Wouldn't be surprised if it's the first one they've ever seen.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's drownings and things, but yeah, maybe not usually intentional violence.
Murders, yeah, I should say.
Yeah, I feel like we're trapped between liars and incompetence in every direction, and I don't love that. Gonna be honest. I'm also starving. Uh, should we look for the others?
Yeah, hopefully they found more than just fish at the general store. I'm hungry.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll say while you're kind of coming back in, Dr. Cavendish is coming back from his meeting with the priest.
We've got a lot to discuss, so we should find someplace quiet. But I need to eat something first.
Indeed. Yes, I'm quite famished. Dr. Harding bought some sardines earlier, and now I have cravings for fish.
Ugh, more fish.
Yeah,
I was hoping
yeah.
they'd have a chicken or something over at the.
Further proof you weren't on the champagne.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a bit worried about Dr. Harding, though. He's not eating. I mean, I don't care if he
Mhm.
plays with his food, but he needs to eat.
Yeah, I don't remember him eating any of his food at the diner. Now that you mention it.
Let's make sure we'll press him a bit to get him to eat.
Yeah, let's we can just I assume that Mrs. Armand is available. We could ask her if she's seen the others. They're
She said
upstairs.
she was going to go to bed. We told her not to bother making food, so we're going to go to the diner.
Oh, all right then, let's hurry. I can't imagine it stays open until now in a place like this. Although maybe there's a later shift for the fishermen and they, or the cannery guys. Actually, the cannery probably runs 3 shifts, so maybe they stay open late.
I think you guys
gather everyone
probably
together.
we are heading to the diner just as you are, and we meet there. I think that
Okay.
makes-
All right. So when you show up at the diner, uh, the waitress, Mary, she looks a little tired, and she's like going, "Oh, please come in." And she looks at the clock. She's like, "I should be getting off shift soon, but when Thom gets back, he'll be able to take your order and all. He cooks in the morning, in the evening, and all. He should be back soon."
All
She's like,
right, yes,
I can take your orders if you'd like, and I can
please.
pass it to him.
Uh,
So, so she
I'll-
she takes your orders.
What
Yep.
do people eat in the 20s? I'll have meatloaf and a cup of coffee and potatoes.
well, we're not in the Midwest. We're on. We've
Lots
got
of
a
milk.
Oh, it's true.
lots of
milk.
delicious seafood.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Chowder,
Yeah.
chowder.
Chowder. Chowder.
Mhm.
No, New England. We've got.
They have a lobster roll.
Yeah.
Lobster roll.
Yeah, I'm sure any seafood they probably have. Like if you're wanting more of a land food, it's gonna be they might like they'll have some chicken and stuff, but yeah,
I'm
It's a
gonna,
diner. They might have burgers.
sure.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have a burger. I'm gonna lean towards avoiding the fish for now.
Okay. All right. So she takes your order, and you guys are sitting there about 40 minutes. So it's getting after 9 o'clock. And then the door opens, and she's been bringing you like coffee and drinks, but like she doesn't cook. She doesn't run the grill. That's Tom's job. And about right when you're like going, well, maybe I don't know, we'll eat our sardines we have left, or
I'm starving. Okay.
yeah. The door opens and Thom comes in. He's kind of sweaty. He's a sweaty man anyway, and he's sweaty. And he sees you. He's like, "Oh, sorry, folks. I'll get your order going immediately."
Thanks.
And everyone can give me a spot hidden.
Everything all right there, Big Tom?
Because yeah, I just had an errand I had to run.
I had an extreme.
Oh, you got an extreme. Oh, nice.
I got just a regular.
So a regular, you notice that his boots have some mud on it. With an extreme, you notice that. You also notice that one of the top button is missing from his shirt, and his knuckles, some of them are a little bloody. They're not bleeding anymore. But how dried blood will be on it and everything.
Like you had a fight.
It looks like Tom got in a fight. You know, Manfred and I saw him scurrying away from the library earlier. He seemed somewhat ashamed.
Furtive, I think.
out
Was
of there,
He had a
furtive.
furtive expression, but he didn't look like he'd been roughed up, and that was more than an hour ago.
You saw him leaving the library.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the librarian,
Oh,
I hear
but
she's hot.
she was with a gentleman. Uh, he looked like he was a bit drunk.
Nervous looking guy with black hair slicked back.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
You know him? You've seen him?
Yeah, he showed me where the speakeasy is. He's
I
a
wonder if we've got
petty criminal out of Manhattan.
some sort of problem between the three of them. I don't know.
Not
we
every-
were insinuating there was some type of love triangle going on earlier.
Well,
Curious to meet this librarian. She seems quite the lusty lady.
Well, so far, everybody that I've met in this town is delightful.
yeah, I don't like it.
Well, I would
no
assume we
closer,
would have
though.
already mentioned to them, since we've been sitting here for a while, what we discovered out in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just figure we haven't been sitting on that one for this
And we
whole
think
time.
it was all of the members of the Order of the Stone packed up from Achnakrega and are now mucking around in the woods of this random town,
That's what they led us to believe.
leaving the
So,
holes
Mr.
undefended.
I think the holes are the problem. There's probably an old guy with a hollow leg who's still in the town, but the active membership decamped over here, and I don't think they know a fucking thing about what they're doing.
Well, from perhaps I've misunderstood what you said earlier, but I was assuming that Mr. Torres was the victim of this, the bad guys that we're looking for. But you're saying that it was, and we're saying this very quietly,
Yeah.
it was in fact a member of the order that was getting rid of one of the cultists.
Yeah, I mean that was the operating assumption, but it looks like they're again.
Well, it all seems
They didn't have the sense to get anything out of the kid. They just caught him alone and gave him one sharp stab to the heart, and I don't know what anybody else is.
I think, though, that we have surmised that this Lucas Barnes might be where they're holed up.
I'm actually thinking they're probably on his ship, if with or without Lucas Barnes, dead or alive, friend of the professor cultist, cousin or whatever they claimed, uncle, nephew. Yeah,
And the tie into Professor Sebastian.
yeah.
Hmm.
I'm wondering
Yeah,
if this
moving
cult,
parts.
if this cult has existed in this town secretly prior to, or if Sebastian brought it here, recruited some people to go with him to Ireland and dig these things up. I don't know, but
Why here? Why in this town? It's very strange.
maybe just some sort of previous associations.
Maybe
And
there's
that
some sort
fellow-
of. Go ahead.
That psychotic fellow, Spill, he seems to be lurking around here somewhere as well.
Yeah, maybe isolated, unmarried fisherman Lucas Barnes has a history that's richer, and that's why he knew Sebastian. Maybe he's here for some reason.
Well, it
Or-
wouldn't be the first time that fisher folk were involved in weird stuff, especially on the coast of New England.
Bernie, you know anything about that?
There's some weird stories. You ride by at night and you see lights way out in the water, but no boat, as if they're swimming carrying something, or they hang out on a reef sometimes.
There was also a big raid that took place a number of years ago. Some of the lowlifes.
Was it the Innsmouth raid of 27?
That sounds correct. I mean, it
Some friends
barely
who
made
lost
the
some
news,
good
but-
liquor in that.
yeah, they were all smugglers.
Okay. Oh, Big Tom brings your meals over. He
Thank you.
sits them down. He's got new boot changed out his footwear, so he says got the muddy boots and all. He sets it down, and thankfully for Dr. Harding, it is inert and not moving.
Got in a bit of a scrape there, huh, Tom?
He goes, yeah. I fell down going for a run. He's like, but you folks enjoy. We'll be closing up here in about 30 minutes. Sorry about the delay. And then
It's
he
quite
turned
all right.
around.
Oh, it's no trouble. So,
All right. And there's our 2 hours, so that's a good spot to stop it.
Cool. Our players included Troy Will, Dreyer, Preston Firestone, Morgan Llewellyn, David Gasaway, and myself with Keith Craig as the Keeper of Arcane Lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastery. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good game.